most important fundamental in golf is a proper grip or holding of the golf club. Now, the purpose of a good grip is that it allows the hands and arms to swing the golf club freely from around the player's body as you strike that golf ball. And that grip affects the distance of the golf shot, the curvature of the golf shot, and the trajectory of the golf shot. Now, when we play golf, we might hold the club in our fingers, which creates a lot of speed, but very little control. Holding the club in the fingers gives your hands and wrists more flexibility to cock and uncock and produce club head speed and more distance. Holding it more in the palm gives you more control, but less of that speed and distance producing flexibility. We want to feel like the club is being held in the base of the forefinger coming across the palm up into this part of the heel of the palm of the hand. And as we close our left hand, the fingers of our left hand against our palm, you'll notice the 3 dots that I have on my left fingers, and they close against the palm. That gives me a thumb position which is right down the center or slightly to the right of the center of the shaft. This is what we call the neutral grip position. From this position, I can hold and control the golf club well with my left hand because that's your master hand. In your right hand, you bring the right hand against the shaft, and as we close our right hand around the shaft, we form a position where the hands are unified and solid on the golf club. They support each other. So we want the 2 middle fingers and the back 3 fingers, which are our grippers, to hold on to the golf club, and we want the thumb and forefingers, which are our feelers. So therefore, when we get the thumb and forefinger on the club correctly, we can solidify or control the shaft angle of the golf club at the top. When the thumb and forefinger join, we can keep that golf club under control. If they were not joined and were wider apart, the club would fall and get out of control with our right hand supporting our left at the top of the golf swing. So the Varden or overlapping grip is the most important grip in golf because it allows you to swing your arms freely, control your hands, and hit the best golf shots of your life.
I'd like to define the responsibility of the hands, wrists, and forearms as they swing the golf club. The hands basically will cock, uncock, and recock. The left hand pushes downward while the right hand pulls upward to cock. Then your hands uncock and recock. Your wrists give you the flexibility to allow that to happen. And now let's discuss what the forearms do. Much as if you were putting your arms in front of you to shake hands with the ball, your right arm will fold as your arms swing backward and allow your thumbs to go into an upward position. Swing down and face the ball with the thumbs, so to speak, and over on the forward swing, allowing your arms to rotate and swing freely from side to side. And that by itself is not a particularly impressive move. I hit a 6-iron, something like 160 yards, and those 2 little tapping actions only gave about 25 yards apiece, but when we tie them together, isn't it interesting that they're going to produce about 40% of the distance of my normal 6-iron. You will feel as you swing back, your right elbow will fold while your hands are cocking. You'll feel your hands uncock and recock, squaring the club face, and you'll feel your left elbow fold on the forward swing. So it's cocking and swinging, and you can strike your golf ball considerable distance with minimum effort. That's what is the heartbeat of the golf swing, helping you sense the feeling of the weight in the head of the club as it swings in and around and down and through your golf ball. Again, the purpose of your hands, wrists, and forearms is to create speed through flexibility and motion and to square the club face. There's a couple little drills that we use at the schools that are interesting to develop more sensitivity and feel. And one is to put a T in the end of the shaft. Grip down on your club so you can comfortably feel the weight in the head of the club. Then swing the club back just far enough that your wrist cock puts the grip into the shaft, pointing to the ball. Swinging down, and then again pointing the T on the forward swing side back to the position the ball was setting on the tee. One more time. The tee to re-tee drill might very well be your #1 drill to identify sensitivity for the swinging of the club. To square the club face up, get maximum speed, and that brings an interesting point. Most of the people wanting distance relate to power and effort. No, distance comes from club head speed and center face contacts. You don't need a lot of effort. You need the flexibility and freedom to swing the golf club.
One of the best drills I've ever seen where you don't hit golf balls to try to create more club head speed is to put the club up here in front of you, let your hands and arms swing around your body, slowly at first, and then gradually increase the speed of the motion. Listen. Look at the balance because of the freedom of movement, because of the lightness in my hands, the lightness in my arms, the softness in my hands and my arms to allow the club to swing quickly and freely around my body. Another very good drill to give you the feeling of what we're trying to express is called the swish drill. You grip the club with your left hand up here at the club head. You can do it with an iron or you can do it with a wood. As you swing your left hand and arm back to the right, forward to the left, make sure that you don't get locked up here in your left elbow or up here in your left wrist. Start out moving the club around your body at a slow speed. Then gradually increase the speed of the club, but also increase the speed of the support beneath the club, letting your feet and legs keep up with the speed of your hand and your arm. Work up to your maximum speed while still being able to maintain your balance. And then work your way back down gradually, maintaining rhythm and balance and freedom. We'll work back up again. If you'd like to, you can switch hands and arms. When you swing it back with the right hand and arm, again, you want a free joint, wrist joint, you want a free elbow joint. Let it swing around your body. Let your feet and legs keep up. For all of you right-handed players, do it more often and more frequently with your left hand and arm because it's probably a little bit weaker, and as a result, it's probably a little bit slower. Another excellent drill to help you associate and feel speed is called the 3-ball drill. Each one of these shots are hit at a different speed, but with a full swing. So I'm going to make 3 full swings here. The first shot I'm going to hit with 1/3 my normal club head speed. The second one with 2/3 of my normal club head speed. And the third one, no, it won't be 3/3 because I never swing that fast. It's going to be at my normal playable speed, which is very close to 75% of what I'm capable of creating. Let me demonstrate. Here's a full swing at 1/3 of my normal swing going through the ball. It's 1/3 of my normal speed. Normal backswing speed, but 1/3 forward swing speed. This will be 2/3 forward swing speed. More importantly, they're being hit in the middle of the club face at the speed that I desire. I am controlling the club. It is not controlling me. Now here's a full swing, as the first two were, but at my full playable speed, which is about 75% of what I'm capable of creating. Now your question to me should be, how do you know how much speed you can create and still control it? Well, there are 2 guidelines. We want you swinging as fast as you can, but maintaining 2 things: your balance and your ability to hit the ball in the middle of the club face. Because what we're looking for is a rhythmical speed, one that allows you to maintain your balance and allows you to hit the ball in the middle of the club face. Again, looking something like this.
I just hit 3 balls with a short iron to prove a very important point. Good short iron players hit the ball with a descending blow, and their divots appear in front of where the ball was setting. There are some drills that I would like to recommend that will help you develop a more effective descending blow, that you'll be catching the ball at the right place in your swing arc. And one that I like to use is what we call left foot, right toe. Take your normal grip and normal stance as you prepare to strike your golf ball into the target area. Then lift your right foot off the ground, and that makes your swing center move slightly to the left and encouraging a descending blow. You won't hit your ball quite as far as normal, but from there make your regular golf swing and watch your golf ball fly into the target area because you've been in a position that encourages a descending blow. The second drill I'd like to recommend is called the impact drill. It differs from the left foot, right toe in that you will not be making a full swing. You will preset yourself into the impact position. You will feel your right foot roll inward slightly and the weight going to the outside of your left foot. Then you'll be merely making about a half swing, but sensing the swinging of your hands and arms and the club down and over to trap the ball against the ground and feel what it's like to hit a descending blow. You won't be trying to hit your ball very far, but you will be trying to develop the sensitivity and feel to identify a descending motion from your impact position. That's the heart of developing a descending blow and creating solid ball club contact. That will help you develop the ability to control your short iron shots into the green.
To hit a perfect golf shot, would you want the head of your golf club to feel as light as this feather or as heavy as this sledgehammer? If you guess the sledgehammer, you're right on course, because having enough flexibility in your hands and arms for the club head to feel as if it were as heavy as a sledgehammer is one of the principles of good golf shots. We want the arms hanging freely, we want the hands and arms swinging freely, and they can only do that if they're relaxed and supple enough that the weight of the club head feels very, very heavy. But I'm going to get rid of this sledgehammer right now because it's too heavy to hit any golf shots with, and start talking about how we are going to initiate the motion of the golf swing. We've held it correctly. We're hanging it correctly to the golf ball. Now our job is to set that club head in motion. And we're going to do that with our fingertips. It is through the fingers that we influence the behavior of that club face. And it is through the fingers that we are going to create the motion of the club head that will create not only the directional control, but the distance control that we need for good pitch shots. I want you to watch as I swing this club head back and forth, and I'm going to attempt to create a swinging motion that is so rhythmic and so even that right now you can't tell whether I'm a left-handed or a right-handed golfer. If we can get that symmetry in our golf swing, then we can control the distance the ball goes with uncanny accuracy. Swinging the club to and fro, not a motion that is slow back and quick through, or not a fast backswing and then slowing down, but swinging the club to and fro. I suggest that you stand in front of a mirror and get that club head swinging back and forth until you can see how evenly the club is moving in both directions. When you've got this down, the next step is to start at the practice tee, trying to brush the grass in exactly the same spot as you go in each direction. Watch this pot of grass I've got the club resting on and see if I can accurately get that same piece of grass as I swing the club both ways. With this preparation, I'll be able to play a golf shot and clip the ball off that grass with the same accuracy. After doing that, I'm going to try to clip the ball off the grass, but keep swinging back and forth to maintain the flexibility and rhythm.
Let me do that one more time for you, because this is an exercise that I suggest you all use to help you get the feeling of the rhythm and gracefulness that you want in all of these pitch shots. That gives you the feeling of the perfect swinging motion. We're not hitting the golf ball, we're swinging the club head and letting the club head move the golf ball. To become good at chipping, you must learn ball control. In learning ball control, you need to be able to predict the direction, the distance, and the trajectory that you send your golf ball. Let's start with direction. To send my ball toward the target, I need square ball-club contact so that I strike it right in the center of the club. I need my club face looking down the target line, and I need the club traveling along the target line at impact. I'll play one off of this board just to demonstrate. If I can strike that ball with the club squarely against the back of the ball, looking and traveling along that board, I can send it right to the target. To do that, I must hold it properly. I must aim and align myself and locate so that I can swing along the target line. The elements of direction control: square ball club contact, with the club striking squarely against the back of the ball, the club face looking down the target line at impact, and the club traveling along the target line. How you hold it and how you aim and how you set yourself up allows you to accomplish good direction control. For distance, make sure that your motion is unhurried. You don't want a small swing and a lot of force. You would like to apply your force smoothly. So if I were playing a shot to the same targets, I would make sure I rehearsed the amount of motion I needed so that I could apply the force smoothly to the ball. And to the longer target, my swing would be longer so that I could make still smooth application of power. In learning to control the trajectory, how you locate next to your golf ball, as well as your club selection, has a great deal to do with the height your ball goes. For example, I could take this 8-iron and play a low shot by simply playing it back in my stance so that it was behind my swing center. From this position, my club would strike it on the downswing and would have less loft at impact. This would send the ball on a nice low trajectory, creating more roll. If I desired to hit a little higher 8-iron shot, or maybe if I had a very good lie where I didn't need to hit down on my ball as much, I could play the ball a little more center, right underneath my swing center. This would create a little more of a sweeping blow and would send the ball a little bit more up in the air, causing it to roll less. Certainly, if I needed to hit it low, I could take a less lofted club, such as this 6-iron. And if I had a nice lie, make a slightly downward blow and send it in there quite low and let it roll nicely. But if my lie worsened to the point where I needed to strike more down on the ball for solid contact, this 6-iron would not be very effective, because when I play the ball too far back and hits down, I have too little loft to get it out of that lie. So I might even need to go to a more lofted club, like a pitching wedge, to play from that lie, so that I could strike nicely down on it. The ball will get a little higher because of the loft of the club, and then will run very much like the 8-iron did. As you watch this next swing, keep your eye glued to my left arm. Watch how far it travels during my normal bunker swing. When I'm playing my normal average bunker shot, I key a lot of my thoughts on my left arm. When I set up to the golf ball, my left arm is hanging down here at 6 o'clock. If you can just imagine a clock with 6 being below me, 12 above me, in a normal swing, my left arm travels from 6 to 7 to 8 to 9, around 10 o'clock. And then it swings from 10 at the top on the right to about 2 on the left. Watch that again, please. Now, you might think that that swing is too long considering I'm only hitting this shot about 35 feet. And it is too long, but only if I hit the ball, not the sand. Because I'm using the sand as a buffer between the club and the ball at impact, I need to make more swing than would be necessary from this distance if I was standing on grass. So watch again, please. 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock with the left arm at a very leisurely pace, but with plenty of motion and plenty of freedom to the motion. If we're going to create a 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock swing with our arms, we can't do that if we don't allow our feet and legs to pick up that rhythm, to pick up that freedom of motion. So now I'd like for you to watch my feet. Even though I lower my feet into the sand, they are not glued to the sand. They're capable of and do move. Please watch my feet. Especially my rear foot. I have what's known as a full right foot pivot because as I was swinging the club through the sand, there was some acceleration allowing me to swing through to my left. If you aren't practicing at least 5 hours a year, two things become apparent. One, you must use your normal swing in here because it's the only one that you're ever practicing. And two, your chances of ever getting much better from the bunker aren't real good. So, assuming that we're going to use our normal swing, let me show you an illustration if I may. Most of you are trying to play your bunker shots with a very open setup, trying to swing the club outside in. I'd like to show you how that's not necessary, but I need to draw a couple of lines first, so bear with me. First of all, we're going to draw a target line. And then I'm going to walk in here and I'm going to set the club face very open to that line. In fact, I'll have the club face going out about 40 degrees to the right of the target line. Then I'm going to draw a ball position line so that you can see what my setup looks like. So now we have a target line, a club face line, and a ball position line. Put the ball on the target line with a little sand under it. And I'd like you to watch this illustration. First of all, I walk in, take my normal grip with the club face open, and the club face is pointing down that arrow. Assume a normal setup position with my feet parallel to the target line, too slightly open. The ball basically in the center of my stance. Now I'd like you to watch the swing shape and the direction of the flight of the ball. Notice that the ball flew directly toward the target. Also notice that the divot that I took, or the island, is also going directly toward the target. Now the reason for that is that here in the bunker, the direction the sand flies has more influence on the ball than the position of the club face at address. I'd like to turn that around for you just a second. If I walk in here and I set up with the club face wide open as I just had it and take that same setup, but then I hit the ball, now the ball will go well to the right of the target line. But if I take that same setup and don't hit the ball, but I hit the sand, the ball will fly in the direction that the sand flies. You can see it right there. That's why we don't recommend that you all walk in here and set yourselves wide open, where your shoulders are going 45 degrees to the left, or your feet or your knees, and then find yourself swinging way over here to the left, because unless you're hitting the ball will go to the left.
Let's talk about warming up, because it's different from practice. It's what you do just before you go out to play. Most people warm up incorrectly. They take 3 balls and they go to the putting green and they practice 20-footers. A machine would miss a good percentage of the time from that distance. So what they're doing is feeding their mind with negative thoughts. A better procedure would be to go to the green with 3 goals in mind: to get a feel for the speed of the greens you're about to play, to get a feel for your stroke, and finally to reinforce your ability to aim the club. Here's how to get the feel for the speed of the greens. Take 3 balls to the practice green and putt across the green, trying to make all 3 come as close as possible to the fringe. After a couple of tries, your touch should be pretty good, with all 3 balls coming close to the edge. Then take the 3 balls and putt the first ball 1/3 of the way. Then putt the second ball 2/3 of the way. And then putt the third ball all the way to the fringe. Try and get equal intervals between the balls. Then putt the first one to the fringe. Then putt the second one to the fringe. When all 3 balls are up against the fringe, you've got a good feel for the speed of the greens. This is an excellent drill to help your swing repeat. It's simple. We've done it before in practice, and it's good to do before you go out to play. You're concentrating on making the same exact swing on each putt. Don't look at the results until after you've hit the 3rd ball. The ball cluster will tell you whether your swing is repeating or not. Before you go out to play, you need to rehearse the procedure of aiming your club. Start in close, where you're most likely to succeed. Carefully aim the face of the club first while you track your eyes down the line to a spot in the back of the cup. Then position your body. Let your eyes follow the line one more time to the spot in the back of the cup, and then back to the ball, and then swing. A handful of these should reinforce your aiming procedure and get you ready to play.